Now, in the past 1 year, Nigeria's currency, the Naira, has tumbled half of its value against the US dollar. As of September 22, 2023, the Naira exchanged for approximately 748 to a dollar. Today, the Naira exchanges for 1,542 to a dollar. Now, this represents a 51.49% depreciation despite the CBN's effort to stabilize the currency. For an import-heavy Nigeria, this means costs have doubled across the board. In this story, Just Nigeria's Mercy Frank looks at how this affects you as experts profile strategies that will help Nigeria rise above the fray. Have a look.
In a land where the dollar reigns supreme, the Naira struggles to breathe.
3 billion to import paper alone. We can make the paper here, but we are not able to make it.
And for millions of Nigerians, that means hardship.
Before, na 30 naira they collect from food money. I know we give my pikin 30 naira now because Nigeria don't swear.
How did the Naira get here? And more importantly, where is it headed? Forbes currency calculator describes the US dollar as one of the most powerful and most traded currency on the global stage by some margin. Meanwhile, many currencies are struggling to keep up, including the Nigerian Naira, with a ranking currently nowhere near the top 20 in Africa. This wasn't the case in April 2024.
April saw the Naira emerge as the best performing currency globally. Our foreign exchange market is experiencing robust activities with turnover reaching levels not seen in over 7 years.
That was when $1 was worth 1,076 Nigerian Naira. 5 months after, statistics showed the Naira taking a beating from the dollar, trading between 1,500 and 1,700. The pressure leaves Nigerians reeling, but the government blames this slip on global factors.
The president truly understands the concerns that are being expressed, particularly the high and elevated cost of living, which is not peculiar to Nigeria at this stage.
The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, since the beginning of 2024, has been alerting Nigerians on how forex activities are impacting businesses. Funlayo Okeowo is the CEO of a large envelope manufacturing company that supplies to about 20 African countries. For over 4 decades, she has survived different exchange rates, but says this one hits differently.
What caused this serious loss for us is that, the dollar was about 650. All of a sudden, it jumped to 1,600. How do we pay back? We just have to pay back, or else you'll be out of business.
Should the status quo remain, Funlayo, like many Nigerian manufacturers, says she could be looking in other directions.
We need Naira to be below 1,000 Naira to be realistic, or else you might push manufacturers out of Nigeria to go to neighboring countries to produce.
Manufacturing Association of Nigeria says 767 manufacturing companies have so far pulled the plug, with over 300 others already in distress. For those who survive, the buck is passed from business owners to consumers.
They used to sell this shoe 1,015 because that time dollars is down.
but now dollars don't go up. To sell this shoe now 5,000.
In 2010.
In 2010, I bought my vehicle for 350,000 naira. I went back to the dealer in 2024, and it now costs 3.3 million naira.
3.3 million.
We are hungry. Even the food traders are tired. There is no profit.
Food like gari or bread were considered to be food for poor people. But now the price has become so exorbitant that they become food for the rich.
I have removed spaghetti since a pack is about 1,200 naira, and I have 8 children. And to cook a meal of spaghetti, I will need to buy 8 or 9, and it will not even be sufficient for us.
The Naira once stood tall. In the 1980s, $1 exchanged for 55 kobo, 45 kobo less than 1 Naira. 4 decades later, one would need to part with 1,700 Naira in exchange for same dollar. Keen watchers of the Nigerian economy say in the heart of this crisis lies a chain with several strong links.
The demand for foreign exchange arising from importation of petroleum products had intensified because of the volume of import of petroleum product that has been rising. So this has been putting a lot of pressure on the foreign exchange market. It has also been reducing the capacity of the NNPC to be able to make foreign currency available.
For foreign investors were expected to return into the markets when the depreciation happened or the devaluation happened at 2 times, right? In 2019, foreign investment inflows were around $23 billion. But in 2023, we saw just about $4 billion, just shy of $4 billion, right? Imagine that kind of gap, right? So in 2019, $23 billion was going through banks, not necessarily through the CBN. So that inflow of foreign exchange made banks, able to transact without necessarily relying on the CBN or inflows from the CBN.
These experts also suggest that although global economic pressures count, it's just a fraction compared to local factors.
Our dollar currency generation has been low, also because we are not exporting as much. And then there was now a season where there was a vote of no confidence on the currency. So basically, as people get Naira, they automatically convert it to dollars. When there's more people buying dollar, what actually happens is that they are moving that dollar out of the economy, right? So you are technically depleting the reserves.
Behind the scenes, Bureau de change operators play a crucial role in the foreign exchange market, bridging the divide between commercial banks and the public. However, they too say they are feeling the pinch.
The trading started like Monday last week, and if I can give the example of Lagos, in Lagos we are about 800. So as at close of business yesterday, only about 450 euro the change were paid.
Meanwhile, there is one government directive the Bureau de change operators say threatens their existence.
The recent new central bank regulation stipulates categorization of bureau de change. Tier 1, you have to cough off 2 billion naira as capitalization. Then tier 2, you have to cough off 500 million. Where is he going to get that money?
The Central Bank's Monetary Policy Committee and the Ministry of Finance have been working to manage this crisis, from tightening money supply, regulating crypto activities, and adjusting interest rates. But are these measures enough?
There have been increasing interest rates through the hike in monetary policy rates, through the increase in cash reserve ratio and all of that. But what we have seen as a result of that is an increase in interest rates, which has made lending very difficult or borrowing very difficult by businesses. And this has been affecting, investment.
Beyond that, the CBN itself also needs to build up its foreign reserves, right? Sometimes it's even just a signal to investors. A buoyant foreign exchange reserve signals to investors that when the foreign exchange is being a bit volatile, maybe by speculative actions in the market, the CBN has enough in its war chest to step in and stabilize the markets.
The day they issue a circular by the central bank that is willing buyer, willing seller, even the AFEM, Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market, was trading at 900 to $1. That day, that circular, willing buyer, willing seller, came up, the rate jumped to 1,500, 1,600 in the AFEM market under a day.
The federal government has, on several occasions, made attempt to mop up liquidity in circulation. Yet, once a month, the Federal Account Allocation Committee disburses funds to Nigeria's 36 states and 774 local governments.
Instead of giving the state and the local government direct credit into the account, government should create a bond so that they can reduce the volume of liquidity, Naira liquidity. What is causing inflation? What is causing Naira volatility is Naira liquidity. The amount of Naira supply is just too much. Trillions are outside and people are converting it to dollars.
Should the Naira fail to stabilize and gain in the coming months, these experts say the consequences are dire.
You see inflation like we have seen so far. And also because of that inflation, there's a ripple effect. You see it in your fuel prices, you see it in every area.
Yes, it can, but it takes a significant effort.
So if through this import substitution strategy, we're able to encourage domestic production or domestic refining of petroleum products, we'll be easing the pressure on our foreign reserves, ease the pressure on the demand side on our foreign exchange market, and that will help to strengthen the currency.
What we need is stability. Stability in prices, right? That's what you need. If you tell me that it's going to be 1.7, but it's going to be 1.7 for the next 5 years, I can plan.
The U.S. Federal Reserve recently cut its key lending rate by 0.5 percentage point. An expert says it is a significant move that could be positive for the Naira.
The dollar gets slightly weaker, interest rates are lower, and that a lot of investors in the advanced markets that are going to be dissatisfied because of lower interest rates are going to be moving their monies and their funds into emerging markets like Nigeria.
As Nigeria navigates these murky waters, sector players like Funlayo agree that with the right policies and the clear vision, Nigeria might still find a way through this crisis. However, experts are asking one big question. Is there a political will to make needed tough choices? Mercy Frank, Just Nigeria.
Indeed, Nigeria's cost of living crisis needs an urgent fix. Now, how are you getting by with the cost of living in Nigeria today? Share your thoughts with us on X at Just Nigeria TV. We'd like to hear from you.